Hello, everybody. I'm Tamani Woolley. Welcome to Weekend Buzz, the show that gets you ready with some fun ideas to enjoy your weekend. Coming up, if you like to be scared out of your pants, it's the Field of Horrors and the first ever Berkshire Short Film Festival. But first, that beloved sponge under the sea is coming out of the water and onto the stage for a fantastic musical that is a must-see. I am joined now by the director, Tina Landau. What a treat it is to have her. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my gosh, your energy. I want to put you on stage because you have the SpongeBob energy. You are SpongeBob.
And I wore yellow for you.
Did
you see? Did you catch that?
I did. As you were talking, I thought that.
Oh my gosh, Tina.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm so happy to have you, and I love the fact that you're a female director holding it down.
Yes.
So girl power all the way.
We have a lot of women working on the show.
I love
it. As it should be.
More high fives. That's amazing. What is it like for you? Because SpongeBob is so iconic.
Yes.
To be directing the national tour of this show.
Well, I'm just happy to have it go out into the world, and the way I think of it is spreading joy. That, you know, the energy that SpongeBob comes with and that is inherent in the musical. We have this amazing score by all these pop and rock and hip hop artists. And the piece to me feels like a musical and a party and a rock concert. And I love that we get to now go do this across our country and hopefully spread the joy.
You're going to spread the joy. I have to tell you, my 11-year-old nephew is coming up from Delaware just to see the show this weekend.
Excellent. But I will also tell you, like, some of our biggest fans are people in their 20s and 30s and 60s and 70s.
Yeah, I love that because I think it bridges the gap. It bridges the generations. It's something that multiple generations of a family can come to. And I love the fact that I'm going to be able to expose him to theater in a way that I think he's really going to be able to receive. And that's, I think, is going to spark something with so many young people who come and see it.
Yeah, and we try to make a show that is not what some people might expect with big costume pieces and you know, none of the characters are portrayed that way. It's all approached very imaginatively and sparsely in a way that is about the imagination. So it's also a very particular kind of theater.
And it's beautiful. When you look on stage, the set, it's vibrant. You know, it's colorful.
Colors,
like you said, it really does spark something in your imagination. I don't care what age you are, it brings out that kid in you again. It brings out that excitement. And the storyline is so cute. It's so SpongeBob. We're not going to give too much away. You guys have to come and see it here at Proctor's, but it's so SpongeBob.
Yeah, I'll just say it's a very high stakes story.
Very high stakes.
And we tried to make a story that allowed you to care about the characters and root for them, but that also has some slightly dark undertones for the adult population in the audience. I think it works on all those levels.
I think so too. And there's a little bit of like a climax and a thing with, you know, SpongeBob and his bestie and what's going to happen, and you're on the edge of your seat. I mean, it's so good.
Thanks.
What's your favorite part of the show?
All of it. I don't know. My favorite part is when we have moments where the cast interacts with the audience a little. It's not audience participation, but we have some moments in the aisles. And my favorite part is watching the kids when Sandy the squirrel, for instance, is suddenly there next to them giving a high five. That face, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think it's going to capture kids in a way, and I'm just so excited to see it for myself firsthand. That is going to be lasting, and it has to feel good for you as a director and a person in the arts when STEM is something that's so emphasized, but we know how important arts is to not just our young people, but to a culture, to know that you are a part of that.
Yes, it's so moving, and I'm so honored.
And the music's phenomenal. The dance numbers are phenomenal. There's a particular one in the second act
And did we say the music is by people like John Legend and T.I. and Cyndi Lauper and the Flaming Lips and Yolanda Adams, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. They all wrote songs for the show.
Yeah, and it's going to stay in your head. I mean, there's just nothing I can't say about this musical that I love. And I have to say, I was a little like, sometimes when I hear the cartoon come on, I'm like, oh. But there's a special surprise. When the show is over, it's not over.
That's right. It's never over.
It's never over.
Carry it with you.
Yeah, I want you guys to stay all the time. Well, Tina, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you gave me a job.
My SpongeBob on broadcast.
And you can come anytime, but we're not done, everybody. They're giving us a special access behind the scenes. Coming up next, we'll take a look at the wigs and how SpongeBob on the stage happens. And here we are with Danae Jimenez, who's a hair and makeup supervisor for SpongeBob. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
This has to be the most fun, exciting job.
It's really a real joy every day to come in and be around all these colorful, different wigs.
So how did you come up with the concept? I mean, you had the characters to go by with the cartoon, but how did you take that and make it into real life hair and wigs?
Well, I have the pleasure of working with the designer, Charles Lapointe, and he's the one who designed everything with his associates. So I am just here to help recreate what they've already done and execute, all of their design and looks that they have created for the show.
So what's your favorite wig to do and put into place?
That's a hard question because there are a lot of fun do's, but I really enjoy Patrick's fun cone shape. The newscaster perch is also really fun because he's got this really cool fun flip going on. So yeah, there are a couple different ones. They all have something unique about them that makes them fun to do.
And what would a musical be without sound effects? I'm joined now by Mike Dobson, who's the Foley artist for SpongeBob the musical. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Is this a childhood dream come true?
It really is. I grew up as a SpongeBob super fan, and so designing the Foley for this show was all these things where I said, oh, I suddenly have access to SpongeBob's iconic squeak and I can play it whenever I want. And it's been amazing putting it all together, yeah.
So how is it taking the freedom that people have doing a cartoon and making sounds for that and making it come to life live on a stage every night?
Well, it's really special working with the actors in this way. We have to deal with many, many different actors and their approach to physicality when you're accompanying them with Foley. And everybody moves a little differently and everyone has a different way of expressing themselves. And it's not always as in the box or trained as their vocal performance often is. And so you see people's different take on it. And I think you get a lot of the person's individual personality in their physical performance. So being an accompanist with them is a really fun thing to do.
So talk about how you got something that lives underwater to sound like it's underwater on stage.
Well, there's a lot of cool things in the actual overall sound design as well that Walter Charbach did. It's an amazing design that, all of the microphones in the band and the big atmospheric things in the theater combined with the Foley sound effects to make it all work. And so we have a lot of fun with how the voices are affected and how we do, things like going into slow motion or doing quick takes and things like that to really bring underwater and a cartoon aesthetic.
Awesome, and all the magic happens right behind here, everybody. So listen, Mike, thank you so much. SpongeBob the Musical is playing at Proctor's now through Saturday the 28th. For more information on tickets and showtimes, just log on to proctors.org. Coming up after the break is Field of Horrors, but first, a number from the show, Hero is my middle name.